My name is Alan Barge. And it is a great pleasure to be here with you this evening. And we are going to provide you with some information about our community that goes a little beyond what you just saw in our promo video, and hopefully have the opportunity to answer some questions that you may have. Just to tell you a little bit about myself, I've been a proud member of the Murrow family for about 24 years. In addition to a principal here at the school, I'm also a social studies teacher, and look forward to sharing some of my experiences and, of course, some of the wonderful things that are happening here in the building. One thing I can't stress enough, and I'm going to emphasize this throughout the course of the presentation, is that we have a wonderful website that we just launched over the summer, and it is chock full of information about our community. So anything you need to know about our community, ranging from our school's mission and vision to some of the initiatives that we have, to some of the programs, all the many wonderful programs that we have in the building, to connections to social media outlets, videos, pictures, everything can be found on our website. So certainly if we are not providing enough information, or if you're left with more questions, you can certainly email us, but feel free to visit our website, because it's very likely that some of those questions, or all those questions, will be answered there. So I'm just going to share my screen with everyone. Okay. And again, welcome, warm welcome to each and every one of you. So tonight's presentation is going to serve a few purposes. It's to get to know our school and to learn whether or not Murrow High School is the right fit and choice for your child. We know this is a very challenging process, and I know many of you are eager and excited to find out more about schools throughout the great borough of Brooklyn and throughout New York City, and hopefully this informational session could provide some of that useful information. I know many of you will have questions with regards to admissions and policies and procedures. We are still waiting some information and guidance. So as soon as that information is provided, we are going to be providing that information and posting it on our website, as it will be also shared on the Department of Education's website. So if you do have any questions with regards to admissions, please jot them down, because chances are you're going to have that question a week from now, a couple weeks from now, and hopefully in the coming days, coming weeks, you'll be able to get those answers, and we'll be able to provide them, provide some clarity, or at least direct you towards the place where you can find all of those answers. With any school, especially ours, it all starts with a mission and a vision. We take great pride in our care mission, and it's more than just an acronym here at the school. It is a way of life. So no matter where you go throughout our building, you'll see posters and slogans, and you'll see information that is always directly connected to our care mission. And you'll hear people say, it's because of Edward R. Murrow High School, we care about our students. Everything we do is directly connected to our mission and vision. And the idea is to make sure that once students leave Murrow High School, they are ready for the world that awaits them, for a college, career, and life. So look forward to sharing some elements of our care mission and seeing all the wonderful things that our students are doing both in and out of our classrooms. So what makes Murrow Murrow? Well, there's so much. I can go on and on and on about all the wonderful things that are happening here in our school, but there are a few things that really do stand out more than anything else in my 24 years here in the building. It's the high quality instruction that exists throughout our community in all subjects, core subjects, and electives. We provide rigorous instruction, and we prepare students for life beyond Murrow. It's also the diversity in courses. We are proud to say that we have well over 100 courses that are being offered to our students. We take great pride in the courses and the curriculum that we've developed over the years. We also take great pride in really getting a sense of what the students are looking for, their needs, their interests, and really creating an environment where students could really find their hidden passions and talents. And that's through our course selection. We also have a wonderfully engaging school community. We feel that our care mission goes well beyond our classroom walls. So in addition to the high level of engagement that exists in our classrooms, through our after-school clubs, activities, performances, academic teams, PSAL teams, there's so much that we have to offer students. And once that bell rings at 2:45, it truly becomes a city that never sleeps. So any given day, you'll find our students in the building, well past the bell, engaging in activities and wonderful events. And also take great pride in a welcoming and affirming community environment. We want to make sure that no matter where they go and what they do, students feel welcome, they feel supported, and they feel as though that care is felt in everything that they do. So some information about Murrow. As you can see, some of the quotes that you see here, but designated a School of Excellence by the U.S. Department of Education. We have been ranked in many of Newsweek's listings. We've recently been named the third most diverse school in New York City, according to some credible websites. We do have a unique schedule and structure that prepares students for life beyond Murrow, to prepare them for college, career, and life. Something that's really important that we do emphasize, we do not declare majors at Murrow. We do know that there are many schools out there that do have students locked into a particular program or a major. We have a very different philosophy here at the school. We want to make sure that students are exposed to everything that we have to offer, so that whereas a student may be in a particular program, they don't have to stay within that program or just be limited to that program. We feel that Murrow is a place where students can discover their hidden talents and passions and showcase them as well. So we don't want to lock anyone into one particular pathway for 4 years. That's what college is for, right? Students will find their way in their pathway in college as they declare their majors. When it comes to high school, that's where students find those hidden talents and passions, start to ask questions, and really get thoroughly engaged in the college process. And it's through the exposure of courses and really taking part in so many activities here in the school is where students can find those hidden talents and passions. So we take great pride in that. It's something that we really emphasize here in the school. And it's truly a culture of care. Recent years, the average of $20 million in scholarships are awarded to our graduating students to attend college. We have a number of screen programs in music, which is broken up into instrumental and vocal, theater, and art. We also have an MSTAR science research program. That's not a screen program, it's an in-house program here in the school. So it's a very rigorous science research program that many of our students take part in. We average 24 different advanced placement classes. We have 24 this year, so we've added a couple this year, and we're really excited about that. So part of the conversation that we have here in the school is that it's not whether they're going to be, students are going to be taking an advanced placement class, it's going to be which ones. So we want to make sure that students are provided with enough of a variety of courses in all major subjects. And we want to make sure that by the time they graduate, they are taking at least one advanced placement course, if not more than one. So we do have a nice variety, and we really are excited about student involvement within those programs. We have an award-winning high school newspaper called the Murrow Network, the true spirit of Edward R. Murrow. We do have our young journalists who are taking part in reporting in the news, whether it be politics or social events, and reporting all that Murrow has to offer. So also on our website, you'll see a link to some of the wonderful articles that they have written this year and in previous years. We do have a PSAL sports program. It's not a very large sports program. We're looking to add some more sports as we move along, but we do have 13 PSAL sports. We'll talk a little bit more about them. And we also have academic teams. Some of those academic teams range from chess to mock trial, We the People, and a variety of others that we'll be sharing in just a moment as well. For those of you who may have heard of Sing, it was truly a tradition in many of the schools many years ago, and there's still a number of schools that still have a good, rich tradition of Sing. It is a student-run and student-led friendly competition where the students themselves are performing, they're writing the scripts, they're playing the music, they're building the sets, and we do have hundreds of students every year competing in this Sing competition, and it is something that our students are really excited about. So for those of you who may have heard a little bit about Sing, or if you want to know more about Sing, feel free to visit our website as well. We do have our award-winning CTE program. We have a couple of CTE programs, Career and Technical Education program, one being our Virtual Enterprise program. So for those students who are interested in business, we do have a place where they could really take part in some wonderful activities and competitions. We have a renovated planetarium. We are one of the few schools in New York City that have a spectacular planetarium. So we do have a number of students, whether you're taking an astronomy class or maybe even a social studies class that's learning something about the scientific revolution, it's very likely that at some point they're going to be visiting the planetarium and seeing the wonderful technology that's in there. It's really a spectacular site. We also have another in-house program, non-screen program called the Writers Institute for our young writers. Dance program, also an in-house program. That's not a screen program for our students that want to take part in a dancing sequence. We do have a technical theater program, again, also an in-house program within the school where students can learn about lighting, sound, set construction, and painting. Wonderful program. And we do have CTE programs in virtual enterprise and music technology, which we were just awarded last year. So we'll be sharing more details about that as well. One thing I just mentioned, last year, not last year where we started the program, but last year we were awarded state CTE certification and approval, is our music technology program. We do have a number of unique programs and wonderful programs here in the school, but our music technology program is something that we really have built over the last couple of years. It's a true partnership between Levi's and Alicia Keys, where they donated some equipment, created a recording studio. Our students are now producing music. They're producing albums, and we've had a couple of students that have gotten record deals after graduation from their experiences in the music technology program. So we're very proud of that program as an additional CTE program in the school. And our students are creating music, they're behind the scenes, they're working the technology, and they're really doing some spectacular things. Some other programs and some other features that we have to offer: a greenhouse and aquaponics lab that was generously donated by some of our elected officials a couple of years ago. And we just opened up our courthouse, our courtroom here in the school. So we are looking forward to expanding our law program, and really excited about some of the activities that are already taking place in just a short amount of time in our courtroom. And we are really excited about expanding that curriculum. So for those students who are interested in law, it's going to be a place where they can not just take a variety of law courses over the years, but they can also take part in many competitions and prep for those competitions, whether it be moot court, mock trial, in our very own courtroom. So we're really excited about that. And we are in the process, and we are expecting that our TV studio is going to be completed, our project, also a generous donation from our elected officials to create a TV studio program here in the school. And it is really going to be a wonderful site. In addition to television production, digital media, students are also going to be creating podcasts, and we are looking forward to that opening. The projected opening date is going to be September of next year. So we're really excited about that as well. We do have a very unique schedule. It has taken on different shapes and forms over the years. So we have something that really provides students with a very unique experience in terms of a schedule. Students are On their schedule, they'll see 9 different bands. Instead of periods, we call them bands. Students are given optas during the day. That stands for optional time activities. And students have the opportunity during that time to either go to lunch, to get tutored, to do some independent research, to work in an office, to visit a variety of different spaces in the building. We do have an outdoor space on campus where students can go during their opta. Students can also go to the lunchroom. Students can go to the student center. There's so many different opportunities where students and places where students can go during their optas. And it is a truly unique schedule. So if you have the opportunity to visit our website, you'll be able to see how our schedule is a bit different from other schools, but it does provide students with those opportunities to take multiple courses throughout the day, but also falling within a schedule that is not too overwhelming for them. And also really take part and connect with many of those wonderful courses that we have to offer. So the school year, we are a semester school, so we do have a fall and a spring semester. That's not saying that every course that they have will have a different teacher from the fall to the spring. Sometimes it just so happens that they will have the same teacher for the year, depending on the course. But it is broken up into 2 semesters. First semester, we're in the fall semester right now from September through January. And the spring starts roughly January or the beginning of February through June. So we do have 2 semesters. With regards to report cards, there are 6 report cards a year. We have 3 marking periods in each semester. So given, each semester, there's about 6 weeks in between each marking period. Each marking, or at least marking periods 1 and 2, is considered a progress report. And of course, the final grade, which does say on a student's transcript, comes at the end of the semester, which ranges from anywhere from 17 to 20 weeks, depending on the scheduling of the school year. Our grading system, also a bit unique, a little different. We do not have a numeric system. We do have a grading system that is reflected on the screen. You can see that students, if they fall within a particular range, so for example, if they receive, if their average in a social studies class is an 85 or an 86, it falls within the G range. So you'll see the grades that we have, E, G, S, N, and U. So if you may be asking, what if a student gets a G? What does that look like on a report card? Well, you do see a G, but on their transcript, it would go on as an 85. An E would go on as a 95. Some of the classes students would take in the 9th grade, given the schedule that they would have. Certainly, we'll start with the core courses. All students will be taking English, global history, science, and math. Particular math class may vary depending on what class you're taking. Also science, depending on what class and maybe regents they may be taking in junior high school. So that may vary from one student to the next. But English, global history, science, and math. We do have 5 different foreign languages to choose from. We have French, Italian, Russian, Chinese, and Spanish. So there is a variety of different languages that students can choose from. They will be taking either a music, an art, or business/technology elective, physical education, which is going to be offered every semester, and they will be given an opta. Maybe asking yourself, what about lunch? Well, the opta falls into that lunch category. So in other words, going back a couple of slides, I did mention it is an optional time activity. More often than not, students will obviously get that opta right in the middle of the school day because we know that students need to eat. So students can go to the lunchroom, but for those students who just want to eat lunch or they bring their lunch, they can also go to one of the many different student opta areas where they can go, they can eat their lunch, whether it be the student center, the outdoor courtyard that we do have on campus, and a variety of other spaces that they can go to as well. But certainly there we do have a large cafeteria space where food is served, breakfast and lunch to all students. where students can go during their scheduled opt-in. We do have a number of instructional support services. Any service that is needed for students, we do provide. So ranging from SETs to occupational therapy to nursing services, mandated counseling, you name it, we offer it, all in the name of providing that care and that support that students need. Some of the elective classes that will be available to students after the 9th grade. Again, there are so many different courses. So you may be able to see just sort of a little snapshot here, but certainly it's not limited to what we have here in the school. So advanced placement courses, it says 18. Actually, there are more than that for this year. That bullet was from the previous year. MOOC court, mock trial, psychology, Intel talent research, AP capstone, AP computer programming, math seminar, Murrow med, number of honors courses that we do have to offer, literature, journalism, playwriting, dance classes, advanced foreign language classes, advanced business classes, and one of the largest college now programs in Brooklyn. So we do have a variety of CUNY-based courses where students can earn college credit here in the school as well. Some of the newly added courses over the past few years, and we're looking to add a few others: cosmetology, Ed Rising, AP Capstone, sustainability, robotics, digital film, history, music, art of comedy, art of writing, theater arts, memoir, and fiction writing, just to name a few. And we're already getting some feedback from students in terms of what they would like to see more of. And usually starts with a conversation, and some of our biggest initiatives and best courses in the school came directly from the students and their feedback. And then an exceptional group of teachers came together to piece together a curriculum, and that's how many of these courses start. So we're looking forward to continuing to add to our course selection and providing those wonderful learning opportunities for our students for many years to come. Some of the many examples of clubs and after-school activities that we have here in the school. For example, this year, as we transition back to fully in-person, we launched our clubs and activities, and there was so much excitement where students not just excited to be back in the building, but excited to take part in so many of the clubs and activities that occur after school. So whether it be NHS or our activism club, Keith Club, robotics club, sustainability, Model UN, peer mediation, Murrow Basketball League, which is intramurals, our Heart Club. There's so many different clubs that we have to offer, and we're expanding. Like I said, just like as I mentioned a few moments ago with regards to the courses, I've been meeting with students who have come to me and asked, is there a way that we can start this particular club or that particular club? And all we need is just an idea, a group of students, and a teacher to work with them, and a club is born. So we do have a couple of clubs that are in the works, and really excited about that as well. Some of our PSAL teams, like I said, we do have some PSAL offerings. We don't have a lot. We don't have large PSAL programs like many other schools, but we do have a few PSAL offerings here in school. So boys and girls volleyball, girls cross country, wrestling, bowling, girls soccer, just to name a few. But we do have a number of academic teams. So we do have our award-winning chess team, award-winning virtual enterprise team, MOOC court, mock trial, We the People, junior math team, robotics team, Intel research, just to name a few of our academic teams that compete. So communication, I'd like to end with, in terms of this presentation, with the idea of making sure that there are ways in which you can gather information and have all of your questions answered during this process. We are, just for those of you coming from junior high schools that already use Scheduler, we are Schedule or Pupil Path School. So we use that as our online gradebook and of course as a means of communication. one of our ways to communicate with our community. Our website, so important. We really work hard to make sure that all the information that's needed at any given time is accessible to all members of the community. So for those of you who have some questions, or you have a few minutes and you just want to go through different programs, look through some of our curriculum, which in many of our subjects is posted there. Take a look at some of our social media outlets. We post daily on our Facebook and Instagram accounts, so you can see all the wonderful things that our students are doing, and some of the events that have occurred or are taking place. So that is a great resource for you to access some information about the school and just see what's happening within the building. But again, I can't say enough about our website, because especially in this process, as you're shopping around for different schools, this is our Murrow website is a great place where you can gather as much information as you need to really get a sense of what students will be experiencing over the course of the 4 years in the building. And Facebook and Instagram is just a great snapshot as to what's happening in the building each day. So I can't say enough about the website and our social media outlets, because it is going to be an incredibly useful tool and has been a useful tool and a means of communication for our community. But for those who are going through this process now in the 8th grade, it has been very, very helpful. Something I want to mention, we are going to be posting a number of videos, a number of day in the life videos, where you can see what it's like a day in the life of a theater student, day in the life of a music student, day in the life of a 9th grader. So we have Student Alliance, who is our student government, who's piecing together some of those TikTok style videos. And it'll really paint a picture of some of the wonderful things that are happening and what a typical day would be like for a Murrow student. And I think that's something that we've done in the past, and we update it every year. So you're going to see a nice collection of videos that are going to be available on our website there for you. So hopefully that'll be helpful in the process. But again, please, I can't say enough if you can just continue to visit our website, because it's there where you'll also see some information and any updates that we have or links to where you can find that information with regards to admissions policies and procedures. As we get that information, we'll be posting it, and of course, providing you links as to where you can find it. Some general questions about Murrow. Mr. Joseph Williams, who's our assistant principal of Pupil Personnel Services, also an admissions director. He is not here this evening. He was unable to attend, so he wanted to extend his apologies. But if at any time you do have any questions, he'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. So that's Mr. Joe Williams, and that's Shay Williams 23 at schools.nyc.gov. Ms. Rosie is our wonderful parent coordinator. I like to say that all roads lead to Ms. Rosie, because as parent coordinator, she really does do a lot of great work in terms of connecting parents to whether it be teachers or programs or information. She has really been a great, valuable member of the Murrow community. So if you have any questions, you may not be able to answer them directly, but she can find you the answers, or she can find you the person that can get you those answers. So Ms. Rosie is our wonderful parent coordinator, and you see her email address posted there. It's RDEINNOCENTIIS at schools.nyc.gov. If you don't have the opportunity to jot down this information now, visit our website. You can find in the tab that says Our Community, you'll be able to find all of those email addresses and contacts there listed for you. I do want to say thank you, even though we're not ending now, because there may be some questions. If you do have any questions, please feel free, if you haven't already done so, I think many of you have, just to post some questions in the Q&A. Be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Again, if you do have a question with regards to admissions, we don't have any specific information right now, but as soon as we do get that information, we will be sharing it on our website, or if we get the information prior to any future Get Acquainted evenings, because we do have several more that are coming up. Again, please check the website so you can register for, if you're looking for a specific Get Acquainted evening for our many screen programs, such as music, art, and theater. Music also covers instrumental and vocal. And then we're going to have another general Get Acquainted evening session in January. So we are going to be continuing to provide updates as we get them. And of course, posting any updates that we receive on our website. And as you can see on the slide, you can find more information about our programs as well as our screen program, Get Acquainted sessions on our website as well. So if you have any questions, hopefully you had the opportunity to post them in the Q&A. And Ms. Zeitlin, I don't know if you been able to sort through some of the questions or answer some of the questions, but if there are any questions that are left unanswered, let's see if we can cover some of them now.
Sure. So I did answer a lot of questions already in the chat. So hopefully everybody was seeing those answers. Also in the chat, not in the Q&A, I did post some links and information for frequently asked questions. I put the Murrow website in the chat for everyone. I also put a link to the Murrow network, since we spoke about that a little bit there, for people to see the student journalism that is happening daily at Murrow. I also put a link to our club directory so everyone can see all of the amazing clubs that we have offered for the 2021-22 school year, as well as information for PSAL sports. Mr. Bard, sports has been a big question this evening. So I guess I'll start with that question.
Sure.
How does a sport become a sport at Murrow, and why don't we have certain sports like basketball or boys soccer? And is it a possibility for sports like those or baseball to become an option at Murrow?
Sure. So great question. I know it's a question that does come up often. We, for those of you who don't know, Murrow never had PSAL sports up until a few years ago. It wasn't until maybe about 7 years ago where we introduced our first, maybe 8 years ago, we introduced our first sport. So for almost 40 years, we didn't have any sports teams. And we thought it was a great opportunity to start introducing them. So since then, we have added 13 teams. We're looking to expand. Obviously, it's a matter of just finding, potential coaches within the building and then submitting our proposal to get an official PSAL team. So there is a process involved in that. So with each year that passes, we are continuing to add more team sports, and we look forward to continuing that process. So I do know students have expressed lots of interest in a variety of different sports, and we're going to continue to apply. And of course, through the application process, it will be up to PSAL to determine whether or not they are awarded to particular schools. But we're going to keep applying. So as long as we have staff members that can support students in these wonderful activities, and also have the facilities where these activities can take place, we're going to continue to grow our PSAL sports program.
Thank you. I also did put in the chat the links for the screened arts programs, Get Acquainted evenings, that are happening next week. A lot of questions did come up specifically about theater, art, and music. Those questions will be answered in much more detail at next week's Get Acquainted evenings. So I suggest you register for the discipline that you are interested in. In addition, I also put the email addresses for Mr. Williams, who's our AP, as Mr. Barge said, for AP guidance and admissions, Ms. Hadley, who's our AP special education, who can answer questions about IEPs, as well as the 3 APs, myself included, who oversee the art, music, and theater program. So any specific questions, please feel free to email any of us, and we will try to answer them as best as possible or direct you to the right people. We had a few questions about academics. So specifically, do we have an advisory program? And how many guidance counselors do we have? And more specifically, how many college counselors do we have?
Great question. So I'll start with the advisory question. So we did pilot an advisory program this year. So we do currently have a few hundred ninth graders in our advisory pilot, and we're looking to expand that to all ninth graders for next year. We thought that it was a great opportunity to start that this year, especially with the transition back to in-person. Having experienced the pandemic, it wasn't just a typical advisory pilot. It was something that's a lot more supportive. We wanted to really make sure that we focused a lot on the social emotional needs of the students. So we're finding some great success with that this year, and we're looking forward to expanding it to all ninth graders for next year. So that was the first question. The second question, we do have a great guidance team that ranges from guidance counselors to also support services for many students. We have a number of CBOs, community-based organizations, a number of social workers in the building to provide the social emotional supports for students. Guidance counselors each guidance counselor does have a caseload of approximately, I would say, anywhere from 320 students to about 340, 350 students in their caseload. We do have 2 college counselors, in addition to a college support staff that assists students in the process. And as you know, you may have heard, or if you have children that are going through that process right now, we are supporting students in completing their FAFSA forms and their Common Apps, and we're getting some guest speakers coming in from a variety of colleges. We're doing some push-in sessions, we're doing some virtual sessions. So this year we wanted to expand our college support team to having a second college counselor in there. So that is what we're doing this year, and we're going to continue with having that support staff for students from moving forward.
Great. A few questions came up about class size, as well as academic opportunities. So honors classes, AP classes, how students go about getting into those classes, as well as additional support from teachers. Do teachers have office hours and tutoring available for students?
Okay, so I'm going to work backwards. Tutoring is available after school. So this year we have a pretty large tutoring program that started after marking period 1. So in all subject areas, there is tutoring available for students after school. With regards to advanced placement classes, in terms of who is taking, like I said, it is our goal to make sure that every student is taking at least one AP course before they graduate high school. We're hoping that it's going to be a lot more than that. So we do not have a very rigid set of requirements for students to register for advanced placement courses. There are some classes that do require and have some prerequisites. So you'll mainly see that in our science and math AP courses, where certain classes must be taken prior to taking the advanced placement course. But for social studies, for example, if you want to take an advanced placement in American history class, if you're interested in American history, you apply. You register for the course. If you're interested in an AP English class, you register for the course. So we do have sort of an open enrollment policy when it comes to most of our advanced placement courses, with the exception of the very few that do have prerequisites. I think I answered most of those questions, but we do have a variety of honors courses as well. But again, for most of those courses, with the exception of some of the courses that do require some prerequisites, in other words, needing some classes, may need certain math courses to take an honors or an AP class. Same thing for science, just to make sure that the foundational skills are there going into the class. But otherwise, you're not going to see very many prerequisites for many of our advanced placement courses.
Great. There's a few questions about freedoms that Murrow students are afforded. So how much freedom are they given? How much time do they get to classes between classes? Questions about, freedom of course selection, which you sort of answered a little bit already. And as they get older, are they afforded more freedoms?
So yes, and you just reminded, because I was jotting down some of the questions. some of the questions that were asked. I don't think I got to the class size question. So most of our classes are full. You're going to see in our classes about 34 students in our classes. This was for the previous question that I know it got to. But also, if you're taking a phys ed class or you're taking perhaps a music class, you may see a larger class size of as many as 50. With regards to freedom, I think the best way to go about answering that question is just referring to our optas. So again, students have optional time activities and opta scheduled, placed in their program. So again, for the most part, students will utilize that time to eat lunch. They'll go to the lunchroom, or they'll bring their lunch with them, and they'll go to one of the many opta spaces that we have in the building. So with regards to freedom, for that particular opta time that they have a choice as to where they can go. They're not going to be scheduled for study hall. They're not going to be scheduled for the cafeteria. If an opta is on their program, they have a choice as to one of several different places where they can go during that particular time. Ms. Eitland, I think did I answer all of those questions? I'm not sure.
I believe so.
Okay.
A few questions about MSTAR. So how would students get into the science research program once they're in the school?
So more information on MSTAR is provided on our website. So again, it's not a screen program like you would see our music, art, and theater screen programs where you audition into those particular programs within the school. MSTAR is one of many, many different programs that we have within the school. So you're not auditioning into that particular program or applying to that particular program to get into the school. Once you're in the school, if you're looking to take an advanced science research class or take part in the sequence of MSTAR, you can apply. So once you're going through the process and you're finding out more information about the variety of courses, it's very likely that our science AP, Mr. Carlos Reyes, is going to be sending out information as pertains to the variety of courses and what MSTAR is, so that students, as they start to prepare for the 9th grade, they'll get that information, and of course, there'll be informational sessions provided for students. Was that the only question, MSTAR?
Yes, that was the question. And then
Okay.
There's a few questions about homework. How much nightly homework should students anticipate?
So I think it varies. So students will get homework consistently throughout the week, every day. So I'm going to put my teacher's hat on. So I do teach an 11th grade American history class. I can tell you that I do assign homework. Do I assign homework every night? No, I don't assign homework every night. But there are going to be instances where they're going to be getting homework in most of the subjects most days or almost every day. Needless to say, they're going to be getting homework every day in some of their subjects, or in some cases, all of their subjects.
Thank you. Questions about an IEP program or an ICT program. What type of opportunities do we provide for special education students?
So we do have a wonderful ICT program in the school. So in all the core subjects, we do have great teacher teams that are supporting students, and students who are taking part in those core ICT subjects are taking a variety of electives and courses in other subjects as well. So we do have a very, very strong ISS department that provides really great supports and services to our students to ensure their success. And I can tell you we do have a number of ICT classes or team teaching classes that are outstanding. So very proud of the work that we put into supporting our students in all their classes. And you'll be hearing more about that in other informational sessions. Or certainly if you have any specific questions related to ISS or IEP services, please feel free to reach out to Ms. Hadley. I think Ms. Eitland posted her email address on there, and you can find her contact on our website. In addition to some useful information with regards to our instructional support services that that you can find on the website as well.
Great. A big question is, what colleges do most students that attend Murrow go to?
So it varies. I would say we do have a number of students that are attending CUNYs and SUNYs. We do have a number of students that are accepted and that attend many of the wonderful colleges and universities, both in New York and across this great nation. So there is a variety. I think from one year to the next, we do see, it varies. But I would say in terms of the numbers, we do see a number of students that are attending CUNYs and SUNYs.
And then a quick question is offering in-person tours. At this point, we are not, correct, Mr. Barge?
At this point, we're not offering in-person tours, and if that changes, you'll see that update on our website. But as of now, we are not offering in-person tours.
Mm-hmm. So we have 3 questions, which are all kind of similar here. What kind of student thrives at Murrow? And is there a kind of student for whom it would not be a good fit? And adding into that, how do kids get individualized attention or not get lost in a school that is so big? And is it really more for a self-directed student? So again, they're all kind of tied together into how do we provide support to all the students, as well as what is a typical Murrow student like and who thrives at our school?
So that's a great question. And I can tell you that in my years at Murrow High School, what stands out more than anything else from the minute I walked into the building is that you feel the care. And I can tell you with the question that was asked in terms of what student thrives, I think every student has potential to thrive at Murrow High School. I'm not going to go so far as to say that it's a particular student because maybe there is certain supports that are needed from the very beginning when students step foot into the building, maybe needed more. Other students may not need as much support. What we take great pride in is really knowing our students well. And our emphasis with our care mission is to know every student well. From the minute they walk into the building for the very first time, is making strong connections, to having a welcoming and affirming environment, and to really know the students, what their needs are, what their interests are. And so those supports and services, I think, do vary from one student to the next. And sometimes it varies from one year to the next. We have had some students that have been, when they came in, they were incredibly successful, and then they hit a point in time, maybe their sophomore and junior year, where they needed some additional supports depending on the courses that they were taking, or maybe they were going through some personal matters in their own lives that needed some additional social emotional supports, which we have great supports for students in the building. For the students that are coming in from a particular junior high school that may have been structured a certain way, and to come into Murrow, which might be structured a bit differently. For those students who are coming from smaller schools, transitioning to a larger school, what type of supports and connections are we making to ensure that students are finding their way and finding that comfort within the building? It really boils down to making good connections with students, establishing good, healthy relationships among students and their classmates, but also having a great staff that, no matter what classroom they're walking into, they have great connections, they feel comfortable, they feel like they're getting the very best learning experience. And then once that bell rings and they leave the classroom, that if they're just feeling like they need someone to talk to, that they can go to the guidance counselor, they can go to one of our many social workers, they can go to an assistant principal, they can go to our coordinator of student activities. They can go to Council for Unity. They can go to our student center, to our empowerment sessions. We want to make sure that no matter where they are and what their needs are, and no matter where they turn, there's always someone there to support them. So I don't know if I can necessarily say as a certain student. I think every student can really do incredibly well in any environment. It's just a matter of the supports. It's a matter of knowing the student really well, making good, healthy connections with them, and providing those supports that they need. And I think we really do a great job in doing all of that.
I think we answered all of the questions. I've been answering a lot in the Q&A, so I apologize if I didn't get to your questions specifically, but you have all of our email addresses available in the chat. Email any of us and we will answer your question as quickly as we possibly can.
Okay, great. And thank you, Ms. Island. Great job. Thank you so much for the behind the scenes work with the technology and answering the questions. And I thank each and every one of you for attending our Get Acquainted evening. Hopefully, in just 60 minutes, we are able to provide a nice overview of our community, answer any questions that you might have, provide you with places where you can go to get those answers. And please note that this isn't the only opportunity to get some of those answers to your questions. You can always email some of the folks that we share their email addresses with. You can always find someone on the Murrow website. I know I've said this a few times, but please visit our website. I think it does provide a lot more information, especially if you're looking for something in particular. You can probably find it somewhere on our website. And take a glance, if you have 5 minutes, just take a look at our social media outlets, Instagram, Facebook accounts, just see what the students are doing. They're doing some great things, and really excited about some of the things that they're planning, Student Alliance, student government, our many different programs, some of the wonderful events that are being planned. So that's updated pretty much every day. You can really get a sense of what students' experiences are like. And like I said, starting next week, you're going to be seeing a lot more videos that sort of capture what a day in the life of a Murrow student is all about. So you'll see some TikTok style videos that I think could be very, very helpful and engaging and fun, and just see what that students are piecing together themselves, and you'll see what it's like being a student at Edward R. Murrow High School. So please visit our website and check out some of those wonderful videos. And to each and every one of you, I want to thank you all for visiting our Get Acquainted evening. And please continue to stay safe, stay connected, stay engaged. And I look forward to seeing you at some of our other informational and get sessions and get acquainted evenings. And again, please feel free to contact us at any time. And thank you all very much. Good luck to you all. Thank you.